contest between the Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars. On the Ravens sideline, a look at their head coach. His side down, but certainly not out yet. They sit at 2-4. Running the show across the field, the head coach of the Jaguars. These guys mired in a losing streak, hoping a trip home is going to help them snap out of it. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you up in the booth. Kicker Cam Little down on the field, looks ready to get things started. And as the rain falls in Jacksonville, we're underway. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down. So the Ravens offense taking over for the first time here. And they're brought out by someone who is the modern example of an elite running quarterback, the multiple-time MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Okay, you know he's happy about that win last week, but less happy about his performance. He went into the lab this week, there's no question about it, and studied those mistakes, those 2 interceptions, because he knows that's not sustainable for winning. And I love a line from Mike McDonald. He talks about the quarterback being the voice of poise. That means flushing those mistakes from a week ago and being poised to go attack today.
And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Henry's going to try to pick it up. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door to a bigger gap in the future.
4th down, and it'll be the native of County Wicklow in Ireland, Daniel Whelan, on to punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 35-yard line. So here comes the Jaguar offense now. Their turn to set out on an opening drive. And bringing them out, a former #1 overall pick out of Clemson in 2021, Trevor Lawrence.
3 touchdowns, Kate, is a great week for him. But less so when every one of them was matched by an interception. Those turnovers were a part of why they ended up on the losing side of that game. Ball security, what you know he's worked on all week long, will be on the forefront of his mind.
Bringing the offense up to the line, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
They'll go again here with Tootin. And they're going to be humbled here on 1st down. Going to wind up losing yards on this play.
Hey, these DNs love to get after the quarterback, but the most well-rounded of them are the guys who can anchor your run defense too. Mission accomplished.
Now Lawrence on the play fake. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And for the 2nd straight play, Brock, they're headed the wrong way, and that's going to bring up a tough 3rd down. Lawrence here, design keeper. He is stopped. They needed more out of that than just the 2 yards they got. It's 4th down.
I can promise you, that's not what it looked like on the practice field, nor on the whiteboard. Typically, QB run is going to net you a whole lot more yardage than that. But let's give some credit. Strong effort by that defensive front who contained a play that typically goes for a whole lot more.
And he drives this into the pouring rain. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson are ready to go again on offense. And he's been somebody who can get the scoring done with his legs just as much as his arm. You can see he's top 5 for touchdowns among NFL QBs. The drive begins with Henry. He will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. Big shot to begin the drive has him up beyond the 40. Lamar's going to keep this one. He'll pitch it to Henry. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that 1st down run. We'll look at his numbers on the ground from last week here. Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. Now here's Lamar. He'll set up the screen for Henry. And they're all over that screen, Brock. Didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Wonder what's in the playbook playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11.
It's third down.
They send a tight end in motion. Jackson now on 3rd. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete. First time this game they've looked to him. And now they're staring at 4th and long. The Ravens getting ready for the punt. And it's the same as a touchback here. This one down right at the 20-yard line. Second drive of the game upcoming for this Jaguar offense. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. Jacksonville offense ready to get going. Here's 1st and 10. Inside give here for Tootin. He's going to keep his balance long enough to get ahead for a gain of 5.
He was brought down at the 26. A 6-yard pickup brings up second.
Run picks up 6, so that means it's 2nd and 4. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. I love the call, Brock, but wrong situation there. The defense closes that sweep out behind the line.
You see that sweep blown up before it gets to the outside, you know defensively, tremendous anticipation. But even more, better execution.
Skips it short of his man. That brings up 4th down.
You and I know, Kate, it's on average about 60 to 65 plays a game, somewhere between 10 and 12 third downs. And what you don't want to do is start 0 for 2 in that column.
The Jaguars into punt formation. Logan Cook, the one to kick it away. And he makes the fair catch inside the 45. Coach John Harbaugh sending his Ravens offense back to the field. And this weather, Brock, has been disrupting a lot of what both of these teams are trying to do. At this point, you gotta wonder who's going to switch up their game plan first.
Yeah, when you practice indoors or out under the clear skies, you don't get a lot of this. It is coming down on them.
That's incomplete for the moment. We do have a flag down, but it might not be good news for their offense. That's usually where we see holding calls. So the refs get him for holding, and that's going to back this offense up. Shotgun snap to Jackson. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. At the same spot after the incompletion. It's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd down and 20.
This one left for Lamar. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Devin Lloyd on the tackle. Jackson now, 3rd and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down.
When they were in their defensive meetings this week, that's exactly how you draw it up. Play sound zone defense. Give that quarterback nowhere to go. And let that pass rush get home.
Baltimore lined up in punt formation. And he's had a very busy game already, Brock. 3rd time they've called on him as he gets this away. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. The Jacksonville offense back on the field now. And it's far from the first time we're seeing this unit head out, Brock. But what we haven't seen so far in this opening half, well, we haven't seen much in terms of yardage.
No, it's like they've written a few lyrics, but nowhere close to a song yet.
Did not like what he was seeing, Brock, so he's just going to hurl this one away. After the incomplete pass, here comes 2nd and 10.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
On play action now, Lawrence. He lobs this one up, looking deep to the right side. And we all saw it. Flag came out just before that one fell incomplete. They may still get some big yards out of this one. He got too aggressive to try and stop that play, and they tag him for pass interference. Design run for Lawrence. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Nate Wiggins on the tackle. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Lawrence going to try and run again. And that's over. He goes nowhere. They didn't even get back to the line.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the booth, Kate, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game.
Ravens get him. Down he goes. And a couple of really good plays, Brock, made back-to-back behind the line to bring up fourth down.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Not for that defense who puts a sack on the board.
They'll send Logan Cook out again for the punt. And he's going to try to give his defense a long field to defend. And that's out. We're just waiting for the spots. They're going to say it cleared the sideline over top the 14. The Ravens trotting out their offense. And it's not good, Brock, when you're discussing their punter as one of your early game MVPs, but they just haven't been able to get anything going so far.
No, you'll hear some old school coaches, especially defensive-minded coaches, Kate, and they'll say, hey, man, there's nothing wrong with the drive ending with a kick, right? As a quarterback and as an offense, maybe that was the way you played the game back in the day, but not modern football. You've got to go score.
A draw now. This is Henry. Nothing doing on the draw, Brock. That's going to send him backwards ahead of third down.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. Fourth down coming up.
Even the best of them could be hurried into a throw before they're ready, and that pressure just messed up all the timing, the rhythm, and the clock of the quarterback.
And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. New set of downs for him. They'll start at the 38. Tootin gets it from the gun. And this drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line.
DJ William on the tackle. Brought down back at the 43-yard line.
And that's going to do it for our first quarter here on Monday Night Primetime. Couple of zeros on the board right now. Back to Everbank Stadium in just a bit. Back for the second quarter. It's Jaguar football. They have second down behind the sticks. From the shotgun, Lawrence absolutely fires this one right side. And back-to-back passes that should have been intercepted. Two great chances to take it away. Both of them dropped, Brock, and now they stay out there for third down. Oh, defender there to knock it away, and he's able to do just that. Fourth down coming up.
You know they're going to keep giving him looks, keep calling pass plays. You cannot survive a game without a completion, but the results so far, yeah, they've been a little bit rough.
Logan Cook on the punt. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And a sure-handed play there in the rain. He brings in the fair catch without a problem. Baltimore running its offense out now. And we'll see if they can be the first offense to get a drive going. It has been defense dominant thus far. Ravens to the line now. First and 10. Henry gets it here to start the drive. And this defense bringing the hammer down, driving him backwards to the 9. And it's not just some quarterbacks, Brock Hewitt, who got to have short memories. You tell me these two defenses need them sometime as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock them backwards.
This is Henry on second. And he's going to get this up to the 23. Stopped just shy, though, of getting that first down. Third and a lone yard coming up. Setting him on the dive. And this defense is going to win this round. They hold strong there in the middle, get him down right at the line. Fourth down coming up.
It's weird to say, and it certainly won't show up on the stat sheet, but I want to give a lot of credit to that runner. Even though it didn't gain a yard, it actually took a heck of an effort just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And he hauls it in right near the 40-yard line. The Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence set to take over on offense once again. And this is the type of play they need out of him into the later months. He's currently leading the league in passing touchdowns. Lawrence with it on first. That is caught by Brian Thomas Jr. And a great play is brought to an end as this one reaches the 35-yard line. They managed 22 on the rip and a first down. All set to go now from the 35.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
They're going option keeper on first and 10. Here's the first carry for LeQuint Allen. And he manages to find a little traction on that search field as he fights forward for a couple.
A gain of 2 brings up second and 8.
Second down give to Tootin. He dodged the tackle, breaks through and breaks away. And he's going to take this down to the 11-yard line. Offense is set, first and 10.
It's a gain of 22 yards.
On the give, it's Tootin. And he only gets this one down to the 9. Following that little 2-yard run, it's second and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8.
A toss play to Tootin. That is exactly why you rally to the football. Got through one tackle, but the next guy gets him for a loss. So the run goes backwards. What do you think, Brock? Is it time that they start getting a little more aggressive, take some more risks offensively?
Not in my book. You've not earned that right. I think a lot of play callers feel that same way, too. I mean, you get to earn the right to be aggressive.
Throws into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted! Kyle Hamilton with the pick. And the Ravens are going to have it after his second interception of the season. Well, they were thinking at least a field goal on the drive if they couldn't reach the end zone, right? But the interception keeps them from even getting 3 out of this possession.
You really hope at the end of this game you don't look back and go, shoulda, woulda, coulda. If we could have gotten some points out of that drive early, we wouldn't be in the situation we are in now.
Now the Ravens all set for another possession. By this point, partner, they are through that opening script, through trying to establish their offense, and yet still no points. Thinking it might be time to start switching things up a little bit, tear up the old game plan and start fresh.
Well, I promise you that's what's buzzing on the headsets and over on the sidelines and in the huddle. Got to find a way to just get into some sort of rhythm.
He's going to have them up to that 23. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Lamar now from the gun. Finds his man. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll get it up to the 27.
Textbook hitch route. Just hit him in the short field and deliver it once that defense turns their attention elsewhere. Okay, this is a low-ceiling play, but a reliable source of yardage.
They don't get this snapped in time. This is going to back them up.
Delay of game, offense.
Man in motion wasn't set in time. Just couldn't get a snap away before the play clock expired. From the gun, Jackson. Has him on the quick hitter. Good pickup, and he's denied that first down. The stop comes at the 32-yard line.
A gain of 9 brings up third down.
They're going to try to pick it up with an option left. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
A 7-yard gain. That's good.
New set of downs for him. It starts at the 38.
A gain of 7. First down, Ravens.
Dive play straight ahead. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Former number 1 pick, Trayvon Walker on the stop.
1-yard gain. Brings up second and 9.
Play action now with Jackson. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Tough one to retain through that hit. So they're left facing third and long. To the air on third and long. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of fourth down.
These quarterbacks are so good with their clock in their head between the tackles. But you get outside the pocket, and you've got to have that same ability. If you hesitate for a second, the defenses with their speed at this level, they'll find a way to bring you to the ground.
And that fair catch corralled just beyond the 25-yard line. Now the Jaguars offense ready to take over once more. And it's been a very slow start offensively. Let's see if this drive is the one they can break through and put up the game's first points. Okay, the wide receiver's going to get it to begin the drive. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense.
One of the challenges when you run that jet sweep is you better secure that edge. I've not seen a great jet sweep in my life where you don't win the edge of the line of scrimmage. And that time, the defense got the job done.
Back to throw. Here's Lawrence. Here's a screen for Tootin. And defenders arriving in support to finish him off at the line. And it's a nickel set for the Ravens. Third down.
No gain on the play.
They'll air it out on third. Oh, the football's loose. And the Ravens make the recovery.
You know what separates good defenses from great? Good defenses find a way to get off the field. Great defenses find a way to take the ball away. What a great play to set their offense up with some mojo.
Now Baltimore returning its offense to the field of play. And this certainly isn't the rut they want to be in, Brock. All of their drives have been ending in punts as of late. First call here coming from the shotgun. Designed run, Jackson keeping it. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field. So now, partner, got to reevaluate what to do on this next snap because the holding call pushes them back quite a ways. Play action. Here's Jackson. He puts some air under it deep down the left. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens get the game's first points here in the second.
That is just tremendous play calling. You know, there's some coordinators out there, Kate, that are just Rolodex. Right? They flip through their call sheet, they just call whatever's on it. Then there's other coordinators that can stack their plays together. And when you run it, you run that same action of the play action right off of it, and you can make that defense pay. That was a thing of beauty.
This is Andre Schmidt to try the extra point. Got a good plant in the rain there. The extra point flies through. And they add one on to their first touchdown of the contest. The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. Short kick gathered in at the 15. He lost the football. Oh, and this will be a turnover. It's recovered by the kicking team.
These guys are flying down the field. Reminds me of the guys at Braveheart. But different than Braveheart, these guys got two things on their mind. Number one, get the returner down. And number two, try to separate the ball if they can. It's rare that it happens, but boy, is it big when it does.
And he'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. Short pass brought in. And he's brought down. They're going to mark him at the 14. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
And the Baltimore first down.
From the pistol, Henry. Fights his way through a tackle. And they push him out just as he gets back to the line. 2nd down coming up.
He's out of bounds at the 13-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and
Back to throw. Here's Jackson. He's stepping up and takes off with this one. And they're going to have 1st and goal after he picked up a nice chunk there. The Jaguars are going to call their first time out. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. Breaking the huddle. Here's 1st and goal. Henry. This one's sent up for Lamar. And that right there is the start of what could be a goal line stand. They hit him for a loss on 1st and goal. A timeout taken by Jacksonville. It's 2nd. Backed up to the 4-yard line now. It's 2nd and goal. Jackson keeping it himself. And they're going to keep him out once again. That sends him backwards, brings up 3rd and goal. Now a timeout called by the Jaguars. That's their 3rd. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call is going to be on 3rd down. Changing it up here, Jackson. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete. Great play defensively there to just get a hand in there and deny that touchdown.
That's exactly right. Active hands and aggressive mindset. As a DB, you've got to assume that every throw is going to be a touchdown. And you're the last line of defense, the guy that's got to make the play on the ball, and he just did. In that close, in the red zone, you know they're upset. They couldn't finish the drive with the touchdown. It's only half the points, but at least there's something to show for the possession.
The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. Return coming from the 14. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. Out now runs the Jaguars offense. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Lawrence. Shovel pass complete. 4th pickup to their own 31. Jair Alexander with the stop.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Lawrence working from the gun. Completed over the middle. And he's tackled after a nice pickup, but we've got a flag down. This could wipe that play away. Fighting all he could to keep his quarterback upright, but crossed the line there, and that earns the holding penalty. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Completed left side to Thomas. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. Jags working fast here, trying to get back to the line. Throwing his Lawrence on 3rd down. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
That one really stings, Kate, because you want to convert there and not only keep this drive going for points, because now you're giving your opponent a chance to go pad that lead before halftime. That's a no-no.
And he's calling for a fair catch, which is made at the 33-yard line. The Ravens offense to the field for the final drive of this first half. And it looks likely they'll carry a 2-score advantage into that locker room. They'll begin this drive with barely over 25 seconds left. Tight end in motion right. 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Has some daylight through the 40. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. All right up against that marker, but not there yet. It's 2nd and inches. Now it's Lamar. This is Cox going right back to Andrews. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Baltimore. It's 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. On 1st down, Jackson. He completes it in traffic. And he'll be brought down a step or 2 shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. Timeout taken by the Ravens. That is their final one. 2nd down now. They need 7. Jackson yet again. He's going to push one deep down the right. And again, an interception is dropped. Looked a whole lot like the last play, didn't it, partner? And again, the turnover escapes him. It's going to be 3rd down. And he does not get to that line. Looked for a moment like he might get there, but nope, 4th down coming up. So a 2-score game here at the break. Some work to be done as we get ready for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Scott Hansen. Scott?
Our spin through the NFL starts now. In Inglewood, the Rams at home to take on the Commanders. Okay, Kate, thanks very much. As this Sunday's action is coming to a close, big day of football we had today. Here we go. And here's the Rams wideout. Just get his hands on the football and let him do the rest. 58 yards for the score.
The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. Return coming here from the 12. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence set to take over on offense once again. And you can see with the stats there, such a weapon for this offense to utilize week in and week out. Jaguars look ready to go. Here comes 1st and 10. On play action now, Lawrence. Complete out to the right. And they'll take him down after he advances this up to about the 43. And what a jolt to start that drive. They're up near the 45-yard line.
And the Jaguars, first down.
And drawn up here for Lawrence. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Malachi Starks read that nicely. He makes the stop.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Hand off to Tootin. He's unable to get away from that tackle. Good work by the defense. Nothing gained on 2nd down.
Namdi Matabike on the stop. No gain on the play. It's now 3rd.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. Got his man. Thomas has it. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Jaguars have a 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
And their struggles on the ground continue as he's tackled after a small gain. Well, hold on a second. We've got a Raven hurting pretty good out there. They're going to head out to look at him. Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. A run here with Tootin. And they're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. The end result there, 15 yards and a 1st.
That's another Jaguars first down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Now it's Tootin. And this play doesn't work out like the last snap, right? So you can only get back to the line as the defense all over this one. Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down.
2nd and 9.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. He's got it at the 5. And they're going to have 1st and goal as he gets this down to the 4.
It's a gain of 22 yards. And the Jaguars, 1st down. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage with a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Well, so much for finishing things on the ground, huh? He is stopped at the line. They're going to have to regroup now on 2nd and goal. So some immediate revenge for that last play, Brock. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to take away the pain from giving up that big run the prior play?
Not necessarily, because it really does take a group failure to give up a big run like that in the NFL, but it also takes a whole lot of teamwork to knock them behind the sticks. Job well done there.
There's another for it. And this is headed the wrong way. He's closed in on for a loss.
This offense may want to try and disguise their run a little bit. I don't know if it's the old lineman's stance. I don't know if it's a cadence. I don't know what it is, but after 2 straight plays going backwards, this defense is all over them.
Lawrence on 3rd and goal. Drop, no place to go. Ravens take him down. And the defense are down away from completing this stand. It's 4th and goal.
And this? Well, this is what the modern safety is all about in today's game. More and more, we see guys with an interception and a sack in the same game who can line up seemingly in 10 different positions on the field. Almost a positionless defender, yet their impact can be so great.
Little knocks it through. And that opening drive does something they couldn't do in the first half, partner. Gets them on the scoreboard.
Nice to pay off any drive with some points and able to trim the lead slightly there the first time out in the second half. And even if they can't get into pole position, they just want to keep this thing close.
And in the end, Brock, a pretty exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. Coach John Harbaugh sending his Ravens offense back to the field. And it has been all about these defenses so far, Brock. Even into the second half, we're still waiting for one of these offenses to take charge.
Yeah, what you're feeling, these defenses are making every yard tough, every first down tough, every series tough. And offensively, yeah, it's time to toughen up and maybe more importantly, sharpen up.
First down carry, got him 9 yards. Here comes 2nd and 1. It's Henry on the counter. Nothing doing on second. They get to him behind the line. Now it's going to be 3rd and longer. Running once more with Henry. They go to him again, Brock, and they deny him the line again. That's another loss. This one sets up 4th down. Ooh, talk about a bad look there, Brock. Going jumbo set and still moving backwards after that play.
I don't think you're talking to this defense, Kate, because I think they thought that was an excellent look to knock that thing backwards.
Yeah, good point, good point. Punting unit out now. And this effort's going to give him an even half dozen tonight. And he drives this one into the pouring rain. And he collects the fair catch just inside the 35. Jacksonville heading out there on offense. And their defense sure has kept this game close. Now it's time for them to come through, get some points for their team in this low-scoring affair. 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And there's a man there, it's intercepted. Roquan Smith with the pick. And the Ravens get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season.
Well, obviously not the cleanest game without 2 interceptions, but here's the key. This is where mental toughness for a quarterback becomes so critical. And frankly, why some of the best QBs playing today have baseball in their background, because you flush your mistakes. Okay, you strike out, you throw an interception, but you got to go get it in that next series. Got to put these interceptions behind and press forward ahead.
1st down, here's Lamar. Finds the in route complete. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. 5 still to go here. This is 2nd down. They give to Henry on the inside handoff. And they're going to give him the 24-yard line. He stopped a step short of that 1st down marker.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule. That kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
Here's Lamar on the sneak. And he's going to be touched down as he gets him enough to pick up the 1st down.
It's a gain of 2. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. A pickup of 2 yards. And the Ravens
out of the gun, Henry. And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackle for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in the locker room and in the huddle is you could be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 7.
Send one of the tight ends in motion right. Jackson now on 3rd. And this time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. And that is 3 sacks for this defense in this contest, and that one forces a 4th down.
This guy, Kate, he can create. He really is good out there. He's skilled when it comes to getting outside the pocket, which makes it all the more impressive. They contained him so well when he was clearly looking to generate something with his legs. Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. 2nd time they brought him out for a field goal, and 2nd time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
Short kick here, fielded at the 15. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. Now the Jaguars getting set to go. And they have tried on occasion to ramp up their passing game, but just nothing has worked with consistency yet, Brock. Might be why they trail near the end of this 3rd quarter.
You sure love teams who excel on the ground, right? You love a physical game of football who can hammer at the opponent. But in today's NFL, it's just impossible to win if you don't have a passing component that's balancing it out.
And this drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line. They sent him with that sack in mind, Brock. We all saw what was coming. Still managed to clean up the play, even if it did come on the ground.
And you know why they call that a cat pressure from the secondary, Kate?
Tell me.
Because it's a C for corner.
It isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And for the second straight play, Brock, they're headed the wrong way, and that's going to bring up a tough third down. So just one quarter to go on Monday Night Primetime. It's Jaguars football. They trail, but it's still within reach. Will this drive continue? Here comes third down. Third and long for him here. Couldn't connect right side. It's incomplete.
Kate, I've talked to you over the years, the transition to the NFL where the windows to throw are small. On third down, smaller. Put dime defense on the field, and those windows become almost non-existent.
And some textbook work covering that part. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. Coach John Harbaugh sending his Ravens offense back to the field. They're up by 2 scores, Brock, but we've got some time left, so they still need to mount a drive here. Great spot to start a drive in here. Ravens set it up 1st and 10. The drive begins with Henry. And he'll take this ahead for 7. We've got 2nd and 3 now.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity in the playbook, whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
And whatever they were trying to do there is not going to work. Defenders all over it, so they take him down for a loss. Nickel look by the Jaguars here, 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Jackson. The Jaguars are there. He's hauled down. And a couple of really good plays, Brock, made back-to-back behind the line to bring up 4th down.
I'm just looking at this hourglass of saying, Kate, and realizing there's not much time left for this team. But the only chance they had was to create a sack right there. Give a little momentum to their offense, who now has no margin for error. You got to go score.
Their punter making his way out now. It'll be Daniel Whelan doing the honors. Same as the touchback here. Fair catch made at the 20. The Jacksonville offense back on the field now. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Offense showing trips out right as they get set for this 1st and 10. Tootin gets it from the gun. And he's able to stay on his feet through that run, at least until the tackle stops him. He picked up close to 4. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 25-yard line.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. Stopped after a gain of 2, and that's going to bring up 3rd down.
You know, it's pretty clear just watching this unfold. They want to find a way to get this player in space where he's most dangerous. Defenders made sure they kept him contained and limited what came off on that one.
3rd down, Lawrence to throw. Escapes the pocket. And the defense was ready. They got him at the line.
Just not much to do right there, whether he wanted to run it or throw it. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win for this defense.
Jacksonville in punt formation. And they could really use a good one here. Escapes the defender. And he gets him something back on that return. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield. We see the Ravens making their way out now. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. The Ravens in a very good field position as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Jackson. And he's just going to huck this one into about row C there. And some lucky fan going to haul in a heck of a souvenir.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Throwing again is Lamar. He'll set up the screen for Henry. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. So fresh set of downs now from 39.
And the Baltimore first down.
Run drawn up here for Lamar. And they shut him down on this one. They get him behind the line, and that should push him out of field goal range. That one felt kind of counterintuitive there, Brock. They load up the line with that extra blocking, and then the run goes out to the edge anyway.
That's right. You put 2 tight ends on the field, yeah, you can live with a stalemate. It's hard to move people in the NFL, but you do not want to go backwards.
Lamar now from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's brought down after a short gain. Now looks like we're going to get a stoppage for an injured Jaguar. He's in some pain as the trainers head out to examine him. Jags loading up the secondary on this 3rd down. They've got 6 DBs out there. No throw, 3rd and long. Dump off, caught by his back. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down.
Complete to Derrick
I'm a
Henry.
big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, sometimes even 4th. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
4th down, he calls his own number on the option. This is going to be close, but I don't think he's got it. Nope, they mark him shy of the 1st. This is going to be a turnover on downs.
Certainly looking for that nail in the coffin, the knockout punch, a touchdown, and 3-possession lead that could put this one out of reach. Hey, it's a luxury they could afford to take in that spot. Built himself up a little buffer here, Kate, but it's never over till it's over.
Now the Jaguars offense ready to take over once more. And as they get set, partner, gotta imagine they're bringing some urgency with them to the field this drive, too.
Yeah, I think you and I both know in calling these NFL games that sense of urgency can be replaced by full-blown panic in a hurry. So find a way to possess the ball and, more importantly, score some points.
And the stop is made just before he's able to reach that midfield strike. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down. One play in, and they are already close to midfield.
At the 48-yard line.
1st down, and they go right back to him. He finds some space again. And they're on him to send him out right before he gets to that 30-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 32.
Jaguars first down.
It's a handoff to Tootin, running right. And he's going to be down to within a yard of that red zone as the stop is made. It's a gain of 11 there, and that picks up the 1st.
That's another Jaguars first down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Now it's Lawrence. Completed over the middle. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. 2nd and 3 now.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 15-yard line.
Shotgun handoff for Allen. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars making a 4-point game here in the 4th. So great work by the running back there, Brock. He saw a little bit of space, took advantage, and he took it all the way for 6.
So good, Kate. You'll hear running back coaches say this: slow to and then explode through. And that's exactly what he did. Slow to the hole, but explodes for the touchdown.
And he connects there, so now another kick from him. A field goal will tie this game in the 4th.
Ravens 13, Jaguars 10.
Raleigh set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Return starts from the 16. All right, and in the end, Brock, this is going to make it out to the 30. The Ravens trotting out their offense. And after that touchdown, cut their lead back to 1 score, Brock. A response in order as they take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Man in motion here. Henry gets it here to start the drive. It's on the turf, falls out, he lost it. Picked up by the Jaguars. And they get to him and tackle him on the return, but will this turnover count, partner? I don't know. There's a flag on the play. So holding on the offense, Brock, and a quick declination from the defense, that turnover will stand. Now a toss, it's Allen. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense. Their dominance against this ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number one is?
Stop the run.
And they've been doing it.
Short pass brought in. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. So now here's 3rd and 5.
A gain of 10 makes it 3rd and 5.
Looking to throw. Trying to set up that screen, but it falls incomplete. And now they're facing 4th down.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable in an incomplete.
And this angles out and hits the sideline. That's a good punt there. They're pinned at their own 8. Baltimore running its offense out now. And their last series, we never really got to see what the true final outcome would have been because they fumbled things away early.
We sure did, Kate, and that adage is true in the NFL. Ball security is job security. Got to protect the rock.
Well, he had to power through one tackle just to get back to the line that time. The Jaguars are going to call their first time out. They still have 2 to work with in this final quarter. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Pistol snap to Jackson. Escapes out to the left. He can run it. Now a hit and Jackson loses the ball. But it bounces out of bounds, so they'll retain possession. Turning to Henry on 3rd. And the run will not work. He is soft at the line. This is going to be 4th and short. Now before we reach the 2-minute warning, we've got a timeout. That's the second one used by the defense in this half. The Ravens getting ready for the punt. He's going to effort this from his own goal line. And he'll signal the fair catch. Brings this one in comfortably right at the midfield stripe. The Jaguars have running back Bashal Tootin headed out with the rest of the offense. And his production is carried over into this second half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they've placed upon him. First down throw, Lawrence. That pass caught by Strange. And he'll be brought down after getting to the 47-yard line. It's the 2-minute warning here in Jacksonville. Jaguars down by only 3. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Here he is to throw. Still has some space inside the 35. And they're going to get just inside that red zone on the big play down to the 19. A 28-yard pickup there. And that's good for a Jacksonville first down.
And the Jaguars first down. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
You just got to love that angle route. It's been around a long time, but think about it defensively, Kate. How many times do you see the backs out of the backfield or just run to the flat? The great running backs know how to plant their foot, sail that flat route, break it off to an angle, break out the first down.
Second down, down to 2. No luck there. Ran that one right into traffic and went nowhere as a result. It's going to be 3rd down.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
Here he is to throw. From the pocket, looking for it. And they got there in time. He's taken down. And that is not something this offense could afford, Brock. That's going to bring up 4th and long.
That is some serious defensive urgency that really does, Kate, match the situation we're in. This is a one-score game. Even though they have gotten after this quarterback all game long, they know they can't let up now.
Cam Little now in a high-pressure spot. He hit his first one. His second one's coming from inside of 40. All right, got a timeout here. Just 8 seconds remaining in our ball game. Facing fourth down, the Jags electing to send out Cam Little for this field goal try. This a 39-yarder from the left hash. Looking good, and it's through. And in the final moments, they have tied this game.
Overtime rested on his leg, Kate, and he got the job done. And now, well, things go a specific way in OT. The next time we see him line up, it could be for the game winner.
Brings in the kick at the 9. And that return comes to a close, which means buckle up, everybody. We've got some extra football on the way. Man, this has been such a great game. Nobody is ready for it to end just yet. After 4 quarters, we're headed to overtime. And there's still something being celebrated by the fans, isn't it, Brock? A coin toss might not decide the game anymore here in overtime. Both sides guaranteed a possession now, even if the first team scores a touchdown. And if we're tied after those 2 series, it is next score wins. Well, both teams have battled not just each other over 4 quarters, Brock, but these elements as well, and it's not letting up. Overtime is underway. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. Out now runs the Jaguars offense. Well, they couldn't quite get the job done in regulation, partner, but the home crowd rising now to fire them up and hopefully help them start this overtime period by taking the lead. Zone read, they'll give it to Tootin. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
Roquan Smith in on the tackle. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Lawrence working from the gun. That one's complete over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here after he takes it to the 45. Big gain, 14 on the play. And the Jaguars have a first down.
Down. 1st and 10 at the
Well, the offense is certainly moving on the right track so far. In past years for a potential game-winning touchdown. But let's not forget, Brock, the other side will get a chance to answer no matter what happens on this opening series.
Yeah, that response is something for their defense to worry about. All these 11 gentlemen need to do is continue the steady progress downfield and getting that opening first down. So critical to any possession, but even more so in overtime.
Out of the gun, Lawrence. Oh, no, they get him yet again. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Ravens surprise them with the interception and now have a chance to win this game. We all know you want that ball first in overtime, Brock. You get the chance to dictate how this period starts. But what a stunning turn of events now as that interception gives the other team a chance to win it all right here.
Such a two-sided coin, right? Offensively can't happen. Just cannot happen. But defensively, you know exactly what those defenders are saying to their buddies running on the field. Go do it. Go finish. Go finish that pick, end this game, and let's go celebrate.
Now it's his turn in overtime. This one's to Andrews outright. And he's going to be driven out of bounds. The gain gets this down inside the 35. So they'll head up here 1st and 10 from the 34. Trying down the middle with Henry. And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackled for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives him more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready. for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
Play action now with Jackson. That one doesn't find its man. Incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And now it's 5 sacks for them in this one. Man, this defense is eating. Latest brings up 4th down.
I think we've reached the point of the game, Kate, where I got to make my PSA. Protect the quarterback, and quarterback, protect yourself.
So out now comes the punter. And this needs to be a good one. Somebody give this guy a break as he sends his 10th punt away. And that is how you hit a team deep. That hits and careens out of bounds at the 3. Jacksonville offense ready to get going. Here's 1st and 10. Inside give here for Tootin. He picks up 5 on that 1st down run, brings up 2nd down.
Malachi starts on the tackle. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
Kind of a curious call there, Kate, because the passing game, it's not worked real well for them in regulation, and that operation, that wasn't good enough either.
From the gun on this 3rd down, Lawrence. Looking Myers, and he's got it. And he's going to get this one to about the 22 before they take him down. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
First down. 1st and 10.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
Hand off to Tootin. And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackled for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11.
Give some credit to the defense on that one. We don't see him get fooled into making the wrong read very often in the RPO. That's why the RPO, in fact, is part of their game to begin with. He normally makes the right call. He didn't do it there.
Lawrence looking to throw. Into the hands of his running back, Tootin. And he's going to get this up to the 26 before being taken down.
A gain of 5 brings up 3rd and 6.
To throw. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up. The Jaguars into punt formation. And in overtime, this has to be struck well. And he's brought down before the return gets far. Now the Ravens all set for another possession. And in a tie game, we've been sensing a breakthrough coming, Brock. Might this be the drive where we finally see one side get the edge over the other?
Well, if it is, Kate, you know and I know it's about play-to-play execution, and more than likely, making sure they can convert in some of those situational downs.
Well, I don't expect that loss to keep them from utilizing the option at all moving forward, Brock, but I do expect it to keep them from leaning on it too heavily.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. It's too valuable a piece of their game plan. You want to make that defense defend it, but they did it a whole lot better that time.
Finds him over the middle. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Baltimore. It's 2nd. And that'll leave them with just 1 remaining in overtime. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. A draw now. This is Henry. They're holding strong here. The defense gets him at the line. That's going to bring up 4th down.
That was a beautiful picture, Kate, of stop the run on the way to the quarterback. 3rd downs, I don't mind a draw call. You're thinking pass. You want those defensive ends to come upfield. But kudos to that whole defense to stop that run on the way to the quarterback.
And there won't be a return on this one. It's out of bounds, and the mark looks to be at about the 16-yard line.
at their own
Jacksonville
16-yard
heading
line.
out there on offense. And they're playing with a chance to take the lead right here. Get a nice little cushion in what has been an otherwise really close game.
Yeah, and really the mindset, Kate, is this has got to be the drive. When you break the huddle, you look at each other and say, right now, these are the moments that tilt the game in our favor. Because you know if you don't get it done, you've given your opponent that opportunity.
2nd and 6.
They'll come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. Lawrence to throw it. Diving, it looks close. They say he caught it. 1st and 10 from the 32.
12 yards.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Finds him on the crossing route. And he has it right near midfield here. It's about a yard short. Now a timeout called by the Jaguars. That's their 3rd.
17 more yards.
As they'll have none remaining in OT.
Jaguars.
Ball just a yard shy of midfield. 1st and 10.
10 at the 49-yard line.
They go play action. Lawrence. He's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there when you saw the field. It's going to be 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Throwing again. Here's Lawrence. He's going to loft one deep to the left. And that one hits the ground incomplete. A single second left now on the clock. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Now to throw. He's trying to go deep again. And that one's incomplete. For now, it brings up 4th. Let's see what this penalty flag is all about.
Holding offense.
Tempting to perhaps take the yards and run 3rd down again, partner, but they decline it. That's going to bring up 4th down. So apologies to everybody who stayed up quite late for some extra football here, as even after our overtime frame, Brock, we're going to leave this primetime contest all tied up. An exciting game, no doubt, but one without a winner in the end. This has been another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. With all our crew here and my broadcast partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. Goodbye, everybody. Hope to see you again real soon.